Note to self, stop playing fuck around and be productive. Anyway, welcome back. This is Todd from Todd Young Online. Let's do another flip through from a Canson from the mid 90s. You'll see a lot of kind of the same stuff, me developing characters that I had in mind. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, I mean they are what they are, and there's still a kind of a place to go back to and look at, and I haven't done anything with them. I need to though, don't I? It's just, you know, I'm gonna sidetrack and maybe talk less about the sketchbook and let it speak for itself because I can't really say much about it. Um, if you're like me and sometimes you find yourself with large blocks of time as a blessing, you gotta use them. You gotta. I find myself lately staring at the wall and kind of regrouping and reformulating, and I not pressuring myself to get things done, but like working on these. And I started doing the podcast youngtales.fun if you haven't seen it. Don't stop yourself from doing things that you want to do, that you like to do or want to try or experiment with. And as somebody that's always kind of worked on things alone and had like larger visions or larger dreams of projects, it can be overwhelming to think about. You want to produce an animated something or graphic novel or something, and that's kind of always been me. I've had people kind of flutter in and out of projects here and there, but they'd never been around long enough to get anything done. And an unpopular opinion may be, I kind of like the idea of AI. Now, I don't necessarily like the idea of AI going out on the internet and taking copyrighted materials, but there is potential for maybe animation, that if you can put in your own work and tell it what you want it to do and get a result of having it animate your characters, that's kind of cool. Um, I've been a person that's, really kind of worked on developing my own assets and developing, whether it's music or writing or drawing or painting or whatever, trying to come up with my own stuff to use. I remember I'm at an age where I remember people decrying, that templates were the death of graphic design, and then like stock photography or stock anything, and it's an opportunity for the people that want to capitalize and monetize their skills to have an outlet to create things that other people can use. It's like when people started more being able to use things like PowerPoint to create presentations and whatnot, and there was a kind of a, anybody can do this now. Yeah, that's what happens, and that's what AI is. It's making things more accessible to more people in more ways. So I don't hate it. I really don't. I mean, I'd like to be able to, it's like people are saying, well, it's, for the people that don't want to do the work and, art wise or whatever. And sometimes you have a vision and you just want it done, or you would like to see the output of that. So it would be kind of cool to be able to feed in your ideas and your assets and be able to have something to help you more easily, more accessibly finish that. Get yourself to an end place, because sometimes it's learning that journey that's the point, or sometimes it's that end product that's important. It doesn't matter how you get there necessarily, and I say that with a caveat. um I keep having more and more ideas that are beyond the scope of what I could do alone, and I don't have necessarily have um the capital or the money to do some of the things I would like to do, but I can try them on a smaller scale and try and complete them at a level that I can, and then come back to them. And that was one of the ideas for the podcast. My podcast, if you haven't heard it, again, youngtales.fun, reading stories. I wanted to, the big idea was to do animation, and to start with, everything that I read is in public domain. So currently reading through the Brothers Grimm. I'm about to finish that, and then moving on to Hans Christian Andersen. But I downloaded a bunch of public domain works from Project Gutenberg. If you want to go out there and look, but the spoken word, the read word, seems to be, we've all had stories read to us. I still like to have stories read to me, but to me the idea was, anybody can do it, and you're not going to read the story the same way somebody else is. You're going to interpret a little bit different. Your voice is different. Somebody may like to listen to your voice, they might like to listen to somebody else's voice, and it's not a competition. So it's a way to create a thing, to put it out there. And I found the steps, the idea is to be able to do a straight read, with just my voice, and however I interpret the material. To do the second part is to take that and then to do a more what I call a theatrical version, with voices, music, sound effects. I keep buying, like, Humble Bundle will have like music packs and have sound effects packs, and for gaming or whatever. I've started putting those together, and I also found what site do I use? I've been using AI for voices, and I had found several. One of them, the one that I really like now, is 11 Labs. It's 11labs.io. I think it's $20 a month, but they have some really good voices. I've bought a couple of other things. Blaster Online. I haven't really used. I did pay for it, but I haven't really used it. But 11 Labs has like some really natural voices, and it gives you the option of typing in the text and then doing text to speech, or you can upload your vocals and have them converted to another person, so you can get your reading but able to in your reading in a different voice. But it also has sliders that let you play around with some of the emotion and get a different read when you regenerate it. The problem with those is you don't necessarily have control, but it's still kind of cool. And for $20 a month, there's a lot of potential, and I've been using it in my projects and have really enjoyed the final output of what I get. So, but the idea there is to take one piece of material and see how many different ways you can interpret it. So I get the straight read, I get what I call a theatrical read, and then ultimately I've got a soundtrack or a background to animate with. And I've been trying to develop, um, going back, looking to develop characters, and create like animated shorts based on these stories. So I'm still working towards that third part, but I have been looking at AI as a way to efficiently be able to take my character designs and help me create an animated, um, uh, final product. So stay tuned for that. Uh, these sketchbooks always kind of inform. I've been I've been looking at resources like, um, what have I subscribed to? I've been trying to get better. So Domestica has some really great classes. I did find bodiesinmotion.photo that has reference figures to use. Um, Real quick, what else? Bodies in Motion. I've got lineofaction.com and proco.com as I try and look at what I'm doing. As I look at the figure, I've run out of time and I've run out of tape. I really appreciate your time and attention for these. I hope you have a great day. See you soon.